Welcome back to Drama Voice, where real life meets healing conversations. This is a space for growth, truth, and restoration. Because inspiration alone isn't enough, I'm Dr. Noukelak, and this is Drama Voice. Stop calling it normal. Raising the standard in our lives, our communities, and our future. There's a quiet danger shaping our lives right now. And most of the time, we don't even notice it. It doesn't arrive loudly. No, it doesn't break down the door. It slips in slowly through what we begin to tolerate. A little less effort, a little less integrity, a little less kindness. And over time, what once shocked us, what once bothered us, what once felt unacceptable, suddenly becomes normal. But here is the truth. What we normalize, we eventually stop questioning. And what we stop questioning begins shaping our standards. Our standards in our lives, our standards in our relationships, our standards in our communities. And before we realize it, the bar has moved quietly, slowly, but significantly. So today on Drama Voice, we're talking about something simple but deeply powerful. Stop calling it normal. Because raising the standard is not about perfection. It's about refusing to normalize what diminishes us. Standards are not about perfection. They are about direction. They reflect what we believe is acceptable in our character, in our relationships, and in the systems around us. But something happens over time. Little by little, we begin to normalize things that quietly lowers the bar. Things like what? We normalize disrespect. We normalize mediocrity. We normalize systems that stop serving people but keep running anyway. We even normalize neglecting ourselves. We neglect our health, our growth, our purpose, and when that happens, something dangerous occurs. Decline begins to look ordinary. But progress has never come from normalizing decline. No. Progress comes from intentional elevation. Every generation that has ever moved society forward did one thing first. They looked at something common and said, this may be common, but it should not be normal. Think about it. Every meaningful shift in families, communities, and societies began with someone refusing to accept the status quo. Someone decided, this is not the standard we should live with, because here is the difference we often forget. Common is not the same as correct. Let that sink for a little bit. Being common doesn't mean it's correct. And how things are is not always how things should be. Sometimes the most courageous thing a person can do is quietly raising their personal standards. To speak with more integrity, to treat people with more dignity, to expect more discipline from themselves, to demand accountability in systems that affect others, not because they are perfect, but because they are intentional.